Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 6:08 p.m. and this is going to be a very short vlog tonight. I actually was just putting stuff together, getting videos up, and I thought, okay, well maybe I shouldn't vlog because I'm like running out of time. My neighbors are leaving. But I was like, no, it's August 1st. I want to make sure that I have something up on this channel. I want to start August off on a good note. So I filmed a video for my Peter Monn channel today. I filmed a review video today. I filmed a Peter Does Stuff video today, and now I'm filming this. And I wanted to do a booktube video and a Peterisms video today, but just time got away from me. So yeah, but I am going to... Tanya has had so many things to do on Tuesday nights recently, so she hasn't been able to go to our home group meeting very often. But tonight, she called me last night. She was like, do you want to go tomorrow night? She was like, I don't have anything going on tomorrow night. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I have to start getting ready here at about 6:30 so that Alex can take me over to her house at 7, and then we're going to go to the meeting. So I'm going to be able to vlog for about 20 minutes now, starting now, because it's now 6:10. So this will be, like I said, like a very short vlog. So anyway, just kind of like a catch-up vlog. I don't really have tons to say. Alex and I last night, we watched 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. They are currently in Portugal. I will say the season's kind of heating up a little bit, which makes me happy because it's a little bit more interesting. Bugs all around me. So we watched shows last night, and then at about, I think it was like 11:30, I like laid down with him. He was getting ready to go to bed, and so I set my alarm for 12:30 a.m. I was going to lay down for an hour, and then I was going to get up, and I was going to watch this bug, this gnat around my face. It won't go away. I was going to watch the final episode of Cruel Summer, and then which I don't even think came out on Hulu until today, but I thought maybe it would be on at like 12 o'clock or something last night. And then I was going to watch some kind of true crime documentary, or maybe go back to watching Murder in the Heartland. But I also set my alarm for this morning because, and I set my other, not just my phone alarm, but my alarm clock that I have for this morning, because I was like, if I fall asleep and I sleep through the night, then I'll get a good night's sleep, and that'll be good for me. So, because I've not been getting good sleep lately. So I thought if I just naturally fall asleep, that would be good, right? So I did, and I like fell deep asleep, and then my alarm went off, and I was still like half asleep. So I turned the alarm off, and Alex was like still playing his game and stuff, and so I just like turned over and I went back to bed, and I was like, I'm just gonna sleep through the night. Like, I need to get a good night's sleep. I'm still half asleep, so I did. I woke up about 4:30 in the morning, and I was super thirsty for some water, and I was like, at that point I was kind of awake, and so I was like, well, maybe I'll watch like one show. And I came down in the kitchen and I got some water, and I went back upstairs to the bedroom, and I was like, I'm gonna see if I can fall back asleep, and if I can fall back asleep, then I'll continue to sleep and get a good night's sleep, because, you know, I only had like, 4 or 5 hours of sleep at that point. And oh, there's a little hummingbird over there. Oh, it's so little. It's real little. It's so cute. It's feeding off of a flower right now. But I was like, if I can go back to sleep, then I'll go back to sleep and sleep through the morning, or sleep until the morning. And if I can't, then I'll get up and I'll watch a show. And I went back to bed, and I must have fallen asleep like very quickly, because the next thing I knew, oh, here comes the little, oh, it is so cute. Anyway, the next thing I know, like, Alex was leaving for work, and so I slept a little bit longer, and then I got up and did a bunch of stuff around the house, but felt very rested. I'm so happy that I got a full night's sleep. A full night of like 8 or 9 hours of sleep was really what I needed, and so I feel very blessed for that. So I'm very thankful, and didn't drink any sleepy time tea or anything, just fell asleep naturally. I think I was so exhausted, that probably helped. But anyway, so got up today and did a bunch of stuff around the house. I wanted to film my videos outside, but the landscapers were out here, and it's interesting because you know, I mean, obviously I feel bad because they're like working out in the heat and stuff like that. So it's not anything for me to like film a video in the bedroom, or I could throw up the ring light. I haven't like done a video in front of the ring light in so long. I've been filming videos out here and in the bedroom and things like that, or in front of the computer or in the kitchen. I haven't put the ring light up. It feels like it's been like a month or something now. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to go back to filming in front of the ring light. In all honesty, and I know it does it out here too, but sometimes like the camera going in and out with the ring light drives me so crazy. And I have tried to adjust the camera so many times. I've like tried to look it up and figure out like what's wrong with the camera. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the camera is focusing on. I know that there are certain settings that you can put it on. I've changed the settings on the camera. It still does it. I don't know why. And in all honesty, I'm not in a position to buy like a new $500 or $600 camera right now. I just don't want to do that. So this camera's just gonna have to work. But anyway, and then I started making videos, and I made the video in the bedroom because like they were out here working and stuff. But I have to tell you what's so funny is that there's these two guys, and they're not like super friendly either, that work for our landscaper. Like I've tried to like be friendly and like talk to them and stuff like that. They just kind of like immediately like turn away and whatever. And they have these blowers, like their jobs, these two guys, are to blow stuff. They literally, and it's so loud for like 3 hours. I mean, they constantly are blowing stuff for 3 hours. I think they know now I don't want my walkway blown, because I've sat out here a couple times, and like when they come up, I'll be like, no, like we don't need to come up here. Because what they do is they blow stuff, but then they blow it all up on my chairs and all over my table and everything, so then I have to come out here and clean it all up, right? Which is whatever. But what's interesting is I was sitting out here and I was watching them today. They literally go up and down the driveways, like the same driveways. Like one will go up and down the driveway, and half the time they're just kind of like this in the air. They're not even like really looking at what they're doing with their like their blowers. Like they're not blowing anything, right? And then they go up and down the driveways, and it's like, and then one of them will come down, and then the other guy like is like 2 driveways behind him, and then he'll come back up right behind the other guy and go to the same driveway. And it's like, and they do this like 3 times around the neighborhood, which like I said, like, I mean, it's hot, you know, and I feel bad for them, but they're not blowing anything. Like I sat here and I watched them today. I was like, what are they blowing? Like, I think they're trying to like blow like grass. It gets like cut that's on the street, but I actually looked earlier and there was like really like no grass. This was before they started blowing. And I'm like, what are they blowing? Like, I'm so confused about this blowing business. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what their blowing job is. They're the blowers. I mean, it's not like we have leaves or anything that they're like blowing. They just go up and down the driveways, and but anyway, I feel bad for them that that's their job. It can't be super exciting. And I talked to my neighbor earlier. He left to go play pickleball at 5:30, so he should be coming home here in just a second. Mel is texting me. Her husband got her a piece of chocolate pie, and she's excited. And then she said, I never eat sweet, so good luck to my stomach. She doesn't. She eats so healthy. Mel eats so healthy. Yeah, and that's kind of my day. I didn't listen to any of my audiobook. I said I was going to have it done last night, and I didn't listen to any of my audiobook. But like I said, I didn't watch any of my shows. Like I said, I'm glad I got a really good night's sleep. And then tomorrow, Caroline and I were supposed to leave at 1, but I talked to Caroline yesterday, and I don't know if I shared this yesterday or not. I might have. But she said that, oh, I did share this, I think. She's going to actually come pick me up earlier, and then we're going to run around and go do our stuff, and then she's going to bring me back to the house so that anything that, like, I buy from the grocery store or whatever, I can, like, drop off at the house, and she's going to take me to my hair appointment, which is, like, right by where she's getting a massage. And we were going to go to the pool, and she was going to cancel her massage, but since I have a hair appointment, she's not going to cancel it, and then I'm going to take an Uber home from the hair appointment. So, yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow, and I'm excited about seeing Caroline and hanging out with her, and then I'm sure I'll make some videos tomorrow. Well, maybe. It depends on what time well, my hair appointment's in the afternoon, so I might not even get home until like 4:30 or 5, so I might just do my vlog tomorrow. It just kind of depends. And then, yeah, and then I have a couple other appointments later in the week, so I think it's supposed to be like, I was going to try to go to the pool today. it wasn't super, I mean, our house was hot inside, but it wasn't super hot. I guess it got up to like our house inside felt like, I mean, upstairs it felt like, oh, tomorrow it is supposed to be nice. Mostly sunny skies, high of 86. And then Thursday, 81 and rainy. Friday, 86. Sunshine and clouds mixed. Saturday, 84. Mostly cloudy in the morning. Isolated thunderstorms may develop later in the day. Oh my gosh, Monday at 79. It's into the 70s. Next Tuesday, 82. Generally sunny, despite a few afternoon clouds. And we're supposed to have rain later in the week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And next week it's supposed to rain every day. But anyway, other than that, I don't really know. I don't have a bunch of really exciting things to talk about. Sorry. I should actually go in and like look at some of the comments. Maybe that'll like give me something to think about, to talk about. Hold on a second. Let's see what the comments say. So somebody said, my mom taught me very young I was to eat whatever was presented to me while I was a visitor in someone's home. She said, no matter how weird it is, you try it once, smile, and thank them for the food. We watched To Kill a Mockingbird together when I was young, just read it last year as an adult. Moms are pretty wonderful, and they are. Well, most moms. I know some people have toxic relationships with their moms, but that scene in To Kill a Mockingbird when the friend comes over from school to eat and puts syrup all over his food, and Scout's like, what in the Sam hell are you doing? And Atticus takes her outside, and Calpurnia takes her into the kitchen and says whatever he wants to put on his food, let him. That scene is such a powerful scene, you know, and I can remember back in the day when I was growing up, I used to eat over at, you know, people's houses a lot. It feels like for lunch or for dinner or whatever, that we would go over to people's houses, and I can remember my mom would say the same thing to me, you know. She'd say, you put your napkin on the lap, and you say thank you, and oh, this food is delicious, and whatever, and, you know, unless it was something that, like, I absolutely refused to eat, like, I never, as a kid, like, ate fish. Nikki is texting me about my video. Let's see what she said. Hold on a second. She said she needs a t-shirt with something that I said in my video. You know, I never ate fish as a kid, but I don't remember, like, any time going somewhere and somebody serving me fish and me, like, refusing to eat it. I really honestly can't remember that. I can remember a couple times my dad and I going places. Like, we were in Hawaii when I was a little kid. He went there for a medical trip. The one and only time I ever went to Hawaii. And, Alex started working on his trip to Bali for next year today. He's excited about that. But I can remember my dad wanting me to try certain fish. And I can remember, like, one incident when it was, like, mahi-mahi. And he really wanted me to try it. And I was like, no. And I can remember we had snorkeled and seen all these colorful fish. And that's all I could think about. I think that's kind of, like, where the whole fish thing comes for me. That, and I also, like, saw this movie when I was a kid. I loved this movie. It was a little obsessed and watched it over and over and over again. It was called Water Babies, and it was actually based on a book, and it was about this kid that was a chimney sweep and in England, and he, like, was doing this, like, rich people's house, and he kind of, like, fell in love with the girl that lived at this house, and he the two men that he worked for were, like, real mean, and they were trying to, like, rob this house and stuff. Anyway, he goes and runs into this river, and, like, runs into this river, and, like, when he runs into the river, it turns into a cartoon when he's underwater, and he's trying to find, like, the water babies or whatever. I can't remember who wrote this book. It's somebody super famous that wrote this book, but anyway, they turned it into a movie, and I love that movie, and he's, like, and I saw it from, like, when I was, like, a really little kid, and he's, like, interacting with, like, the lobster and the fish and talking to them, and they become his friends and all this kind of stuff. I think there's, like, a what do you call that one fish that, oh shoot, why can't I think of it? But anyway, there's a bunch of fish in it. What are they called? The horse ones, the horse fish? What are they called? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Why can't I think of what that's called? This is gonna drive me crazy. I gotta look it up. It's not a horse fish. Peter, you're so silly. What are you thinking about? Horse fish. Is there a horsefish family? There is a horse mackerel. That's not what I'm talking about. Fish that looks like a horse. This is driving me crazy. Seahorse! A seahorse! Here's a little picture of it. There's like a seahorse in the movie. But anyway, other than that, I can't really remember any times that, and my mom would always say, you know, and if somebody gives you something like finish everything on the plate and things like that, you know, we don't waste food, and on and on and on. Which is interesting because when my mom got older, she, you know, she talked a lot about being like fostered out, which I found out later, that they were actually in foster care. But like during some summers, they would go stay with her aunt and uncle, and my mom's uncle was like not nice. Well, he was mean is what he was, about like her not finishing her meal. So if she had something that she didn't like to eat and she didn't want to finish it, it was very kind of like the whole mommy dearest thing. He would put it in the refrigerator and make her eat it for breakfast, and he'd be like, you are going to finish this meal, and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And she, at my mom's whole adult life, like hated to be like hurried to finish food and forced to finish food and things like that. And she had this kind of like built-in thing where she felt like she had to finish everything on her plate, and it like drove my mom crazy like much of her life. And she would talk about it a lot, you know. It's interesting, those things that like happen to us when we're like kids, like we carry that out through our whole life, you know. But anyway, well, I went on for a while off one comment, didn't I? Okay. Kimberly said, Peter, your words about forgiveness touched my heart. I've dealt with that kind of anger towards someone in the past, and like you said, they live in your head rent-free. They aren't the ones suffering. The forgiveness is for you and you alone. I pray a lot that this person learns compassion and understanding as well. Thank you for the validation. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I try to be that person, you know. I look to people that I want to be like them, and people that have like present with a lot of grace or have a lot of grace. I'm not naturally that person. I'm like naturally who I am is like reactionary, right? And I don't want to be that person. And like I said, you know, it's not like I'm not going to pursue this stuff. I'm going to continue to pursue it, but it doesn't mean that I can't try in my head as I'm trying to conceptualize all this to see these people as human beings that are sick. Or consumed with negativity or anger and things like that, and have compassion for them. And that helps me understand it better. And, you know, it's like the prayer for the sick man that like my sponsor taught me, you know, that if you haven't heard the prayer, I think I read it on here not too long ago, but let me read it to you again, because I love this prayer so much. It's a recovery prayer. Prayer for the sick man. I should have this memorized as many times as I've said it, but I don't. Here it is. Help me show the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant a sick friend. Show me how I can help them. Save me from being angry. And really, it's a prayer for yourself, like you said, you know, like to not let somebody live rent-free in your head, and to find serenity and peace. And that's like ultimately my goal, because when I have serenity and peace in my life, which I say is not a luxury, then I enjoy my life more, you know, and I'm able to relax. And I am a believer that I think that stress and things like that causes physical ailment, to some degree, not always, but I think that, you know, that I've had friends of mine that were very stressed out or like overworked and things like that, you know, and had medical issues, and their doctors would say to them, you know, like, well, you're working too much, or you're so stressed out and whatever. I don't want that, you know, I don't want that in my life. So it's important to me that I kind of keep that in check, and I constantly look at it and things like that, you know. So, yeah, I I think 20 years ago, you know, when I was in my 30 years ago, when I was in my 20s, I think my early 20s, my attitude probably would have been different about that. I think as you live and grow, you learn. I think I also want the same forgiveness from people that I would want to give them or show them. I also want the same grace from people that I would want them. And that's where that whole saying and recovery comes into play, that, you know, like, I have to want for others what I would want for myself. And that really helps me get to that point, you know, where if there are things that I would want for myself from people, if I would want people to forgive me or give me other chances, or, you know, have compassion towards me, or kindness or love or understanding, then I have to try to have that for somebody else, right? No matter what their situation, what they've done, their condition, their lack of awareness, whatever, like, I have to try, you know? And that's who I want to be. I'm not always that person, trust, okay? There's a lot of things, I mean, I got fired up in my video earlier today that I was filming, you know? I'm not always that person, but, oh, pickleball looks like it's over. But I try to be that person, and I want to be that person. And, you know, we say progress, not perfection. You know, I'm not a perfect example. Oh, there's that cute dog that reminds me of 101 Dalmatians. Hey.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
He kind of looks like Boo Radley, but he's real long-haired. And, you know, I'm a work in progress. I don't always love that statement when people say I'm a work in progress. I think sometimes people use that as an excuse. Maybe I am sometimes, I don't know, but maybe I am using that as an excuse. But I do feel like, you know, it's progress, not perfection, and I'm kind of constantly trying to move forward and be a better person and learn things about myself and not be so reactionary and not try to lead with anger, but lead with peace and serenity, love and understanding. I want to be that person. Doesn't mean that I'm there yet. I don't know that I'll ever 100% be there, but I can aim for that goal, you know? Anyway. Well, listen, you guys, I need to get off here because it is now 6:31. I need to start getting ready. I can hear my neighbor walking back from pickleball, so he's going to say hi here in a second. But anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magic... I know this is a really short vlog today, but I just wanted to jump on here and say hi and just start something in August. But anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or your week if you need to. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face, you might be cheering them up, you might be making them feel not so all alone, and you might just be making their day, you don't know. And also be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more. Because why? That's not even a real sentence. Why? Because it all starts with you. And if you put love and kindness out there in the world, and you start it with you loving yourself, if you love yourself and you're kinder to yourself, then you will present with love and kindness as well. So, I don't know. We can all, I think myself, let's just talk about myself. I can learn to lead with love and kindness, peace and serenity a little bit, you know, more every single day. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.